In this video, I'm going to take you from start to finish in how I installed my Plex Media Server so I can share all of my family videos, travel videos, and my entire media collection with my friends and family. That sounds good to you? Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. If you're new here, my name is John with Philomore Media, where we make videos on self-hosting, tech, and soon, possibly deep end projects. So if after watching this video you found some value with it, be that awesome person, like this video, consider subscribing just so we can get the word out. Now this could turn out to be a pretty lengthy video, so please consider utilizing the timestamps down below. Feel free to skip around. And with that said, let's get to installing. Okay, here we are on my Unraid server. We're going to want to make sure that we have a place to actually store all of our media files. Now this is just the way that I did my folder structure. Yours could be different, and that's fine too. So the way I did mine is we're going to go into shares. Then I created a data share, which will contain my media files. So I'll expand that. And I've got this media folder here that contains all of the subdirectories for all of the different types of media that I have. Now in the basic folder structure, what I would recommend is having a folder for your movies, for your TV shows, as well as your music. I mean, if you're wanting to be serving any music, that's the least that you're gonna want. I've got different folders for the other different types of media that I have. I've got like 3D media, 4K, audiobooks, so on and so forth. But you're gonna want to have some kind of folder structure to keep everything organized. Now, once you have that all figured out, we are going to be installing one more app before we install Plex. And this is going to be important, especially if you're going to be using an NVIDIA GPU to do your hardware transcoding. So we're going to go into our Apps tab. Then we are going to be looking for a plugin called NVIDIA Driver. So look for that. And this is the one you're looking for. It says NVIDIA Driver. I've already got it installed on my Unraid server. So I'm going to go ahead and take you over there. But if you don't have it installed yet, just click on install and just go through the motions of just installing that plugin. So once that's installed, you're going to go into plugins and you're going to look for that NVIDIA plugin, NVIDIA driver plugin, which is right here. So if you click on NVIDIA driver, it gives you all of this other information. Now, my Unraid server does not have an NVIDIA card in it, which is why it's not saying that I have any installed GPUs. However, if you did, you would see more information about your GPU, which also has your GPU ID. We're going to need that GPU ID when we install the Plex app, and this is going to basically tell Plex where to find your NVIDIA GPU in order for it to do some hardware transcoding. So now let's go ahead and install Plex. So we're going to go back into the Apps tab, look for Plex Media Server, and once you get to this page, you will see all of these different templates that pertain to basically Plex, but as you can see, it's also got like Jellyfin. So it looks like it's going to be like different media servers. Now, the template that I personally like using is going to be the linuxserver.io one. You can choose whatever Plex template you want to use, but I believe the Linux server one is actually on the second page, so I'm going to go to page 2. And here it is, Linux servers repository. To install it, all you have to do is you should see an install button over here. I'm seeing actions because I've installed Plex on this in this Unraid server before, so it won't say install. So in my case, I'm going to click on Actions. You might see Install, but just click on Install right after. This will bring up the template to install Plex. First thing I'd suggest is go ahead and toggle this basic view into advanced view. It will give you other fields that you can add more information in, which we are going to need for hardware transcoding. But for now, you don't need to worry about anything under from privileged on up just yet. Right below that, though, you see it's asking for two different paths. A path to where your TV shows are and a path to where your movies are. Now to add those, all you got to do is just click on this line here and then navigate to where you're keeping all of your media files. In my case, mine's going to be in my data share. Goes into media. And since this is for TV, I've got to look for my TV folder, and I'll click on that and click away from it, and that's it. But now it's asking for movies as well, so we will do the same thing for movies. Data, media, and movies. There it is. Cool. Next line here is going to be version. We're going to go ahead and leave that at Docker. Plex claim is an optional field that you can fill out. You don't really need to worry about that right now. I don't really recommend going this route. You can always claim your Plex Media Server after your initial visit of your Plex server. You can claim it then. Now we're going to set up Plex to be able to hardware transcode. Now, there's one thing that you need to know about hardware transcoding. It is a paid feature. Basically, you need a Plex pass in order to take advantage of hardware transcoding. I would recommend you visiting plex.tv, looking at the different tiers for the subscriptions. They've got a lifetime subscription as well, which is what I have. And honestly, hardware transcoding really it makes a subscription worth it, in my opinion, especially if you're going to be sharing this with your family and friends. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on extra parameters. You're going to add in -- runtime equals NVIDIA. Now this is assuming you're going to be using an NVIDIA GPU. And we are going to be adding two different variables. This is where we are going to need the GPU ID that you got from that NVIDIA driver plugin. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to go ahead and click on add another path, port, variable, label, or device. We're going to change this config type to variable, and we are going to name this NVIDIA driver capabilities. And I don't know if these are supposed to be all in caps or if it even matters, but this is just the way I've been doing it. And that's the way I'm going to be doing it here. Let's see, capabilities. And then under key, we're going to be naming it the same thing. So I'm just going to copy and paste this into key. And then value is going to be all. And once you've got that, go ahead and click on add. Now we're going to add one more variable. And we're going to add this variable. This next variable, we are going to call it NVIDIA Visible Devices. So NVIDIA Visible Devices. Again, I'm going to copy and paste this into the key. And under value, this is where you are going to put that GPU ID. Since I don't have one, I'm not going to be able to put anything in there. But I'm just going to put in here for sake of this video. This is where you're going to put the GPU ID. And then we're going to click on apply. So we're going to go ahead and let Unraid install Plex. And we will continue on once it's done. Okay, actually, this is the next day. I went ahead and uh, moved my entire Unraid server from a TerraMaster NAS into my old case. So now I actually do have an NVIDIA graphics card in there. I actually have a 1660 Super in there. So let's go ahead and go back, and I'm going to go ahead and show you where you can get this GPU ID. So I have the NVIDIA driver already installed. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And once you get to the NVIDIA driver package, you'll notice here it actually has my GPU ID for the 1660 Super that I have installed. You're going to want to make sure you copy this. This is going to be the next thing I'm going to be posting onto the template. So I'm going to go back into here and let me maximize this screen again. Now I'm going to add the NVIDIA visible devices. This is where I'm going to put in the GPU ID. And we're going to put that into the value. So I'm going to cut and paste and save. And now I'm going to go ahead and apply this again. And we're just going to wait until this is done installing. So as you can see now, it says that it's successfully installed. I'm going to go ahead and click on Done. And that's pretty much it. So now we're going to go ahead and move into the next phase, which is going to be logging into your Plex server for the first time. Okay, here I am back on my dashboard. And if you guys are interested in learning about how I actually got this dashboard, let me know in the comments down below, and maybe I'll make a video about it. But so what I'm going to do now is, in order for you to log into your Plex server for the first time, I'm going to go ahead and go into the IP address, which is going to be 10.0.1.115. We're going to go colon, because we're going to go to a port 32400/web, and press enter. And since I already have an account, it's going to have me log in. So let me go ahead and log in here. And this is what you are going to see on your first, when you first visit your server. Now, if you get something other than this, where if it says like you're unauthorized, the reason why it's saying that you're unauthorized is because the PC is because the computer that you're trying to access your Plex server on isn't on the same network. So you want to make sure that your computer and your server are all on the same network, same subnet. And once you do that, this is what you'll see. And let me go ahead and maximize this again. All right, so once you see this on your screen, you're going to go ahead and click on Got It. And you're going to go ahead and name your Plex server. It says Captain America, but because that's what my Unraid server is called. So I'm going to put this as, let's just say, Captain America Test. I'm not going to be keeping this server, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and leave this check here for allow me to access my media outside my home. Going to click Next. And once you get to this screen, it says Organize Your Media. This is where we are going to add our media folders into Plex, so it knows where to find your TV shows and your movies. So we're going to go ahead and click on Add Library. And let's start with the movies. So I'm going to pick the movies because that's what we're going to be adding. So click Movies. You can name your movie whatever you want. It's what's going to be shown on the left column there to let other people know, where your movies are. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep it on movies and click on next. And then we're going to go ahead and add that folder that that we put all of your movies in. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Browse for Media folder. And this is where, if you remember, when we were on the template, we put the movies under the /movie folder. So this is what you're going to be seeing. So we've got the slash here and then the movies. So we're going to go ahead and hit movies. Or you're going to put in wherever you... well, actually, no. The /movies is where it's mapped in the container as to where your movies are. So we're just going to go ahead and keep it on movies. And we're going to go ahead and click on add. We're going to add library. Now we're going to add another library. Let's go ahead and add our TV shows. So we're going to, same thing again. We're going to go ahead and click add library. Now we're going to click on TV shows. Going to leave it as TV shows for the name and click on next. Going to browse for the media folder. This time we're going to go to TV. And then we're going to click add. And we're going to click on add library. And once you are done adding all of your media, like if you've got music also, you can go ahead and put your music in here. But once you're done, all you got to do is click on next. And then done. Now, since I've got multiple libraries or multiple Plex servers, I've already got some movies here. But if you notice here on the left, this one says movies and then the server that we created. So if you recall, I called this server Captain America Test. And here it is, Captain America Test. So if we click on movies, these are the movies right now in the movies folder. So if I click on library, this is going to have the entire library. So what it's doing right now, if you notice up here, it's got the spinning wheel. That just means that your Plex server is actually doing some work. So right now what it's doing is it is scanning your movie library and downloading all of the metadata about that movie. The metadata will include like a brief synopsis of what the movie is about, all the actors, the rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and stuff like that. So you've got one for your movies, and now since we added a TV shows one, we're going to go ahead and click on TV shows. Now, as it's scanning the movies, it only does one library at a time. So right now it's scanning the movie library. Right now this says TV shows is empty, but that's because Plex hasn't scanned that library yet. So give it about, depending on how big your libraries are, give it a couple of hours maybe and revisit it. And you should see your TV shows in here as well. And again, if you've added music as well, then you would see pretty much the same thing. Once it finishes the movies, it'll move down to the TV shows. After it's done with the TV shows, it'll go down to the music, and so on and so forth. So now if you're trying to do hardware transcoding, this is where we will want to basically activate that. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on the settings icon. And we will go down to transcoder. Transcoder quality, I always keep mine on automatic. And also, you're going to want to make sure that you've got use hardware acceleration when available and use hardware accelerated video encoding checked as well. And also make sure that you've got hardware transcoding device as auto. Next, we'll go up to remote access, and as you notice right now, it has the red thing right there. So if we go into remote access, this is so you can view your media when you're away from home. So right now it says not available outside your network. So in here, the reason why it is not showing is because you need to forward some ports from your router. So right now this is set at 32,400. Well, since I've got another Plex Media Server, my main one at home, I'm already using port 32,400. I'm going to be clicking manually specify public port. And I'm going to be changing this from 32,400 to, I'm just going to put in 35,000. So let's go 35,000. And internet upload speed, it's a good thing to find out what your upload speed is at home and just put it in here, and it will automatically, Plex will automatically try to make it so you don't go over your upload speeds. So in my case, right now, I got a pretty good upgrade on speed. So it went from 40, I think it was like 40 megabits per second, up to like 300. So I'm going to go ahead and just say 250 for now. Limit remote stream bitrate. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at original. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Save Changes. And this next part is going to depend on your router. So on your router, you're going to want to do some port forwarding. You'll have to consult your documentation for the router that you've got. But you will want to forward port, in this case, port 35,000 to the IP address of your Unraid server. So let me go ahead and do that right now, and I'll come right back. All right, so I went ahead and made those changes in my router, so I'm going to go ahead and click on retry. And looks like that didn't take for some reason, but let me go ahead and enable remote access. And there you go. So once you've got everything set up, you should see fully accessible outside your network. So now, when you are outside of your home, you can go to this IP or to this website, apple.plex.tv/desktop, and you will be able to access your server or your media from your web browser. Okay, there was a lot of information in this video, and I really hope you found it to be useful. And if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. And also consider being one of the first to join our new Discord channel. The invitation is going to be down below in the description box. And once again, my name is John with Fillmore Media, and I will see you on the next video. And as always, stay curious.